are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Yeah, hit that like button and do your thing. 5 membership will get you in. So let's talk dogs and don't waste no time. Monday 7 p.m. Don't come doing the HATE. Otherwise Hollywood will give you the BYE. Here we go, kill the whistle. Oh yeah, we are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time, don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Hit that like button and do your thing. 5 membership will get you in. So let's talk dogs and don't waste no time. Monday 7 p.m. Don't come doing the HATE. Otherwise Hollywood will give you the BYE.
Friday, what is going on, guys? Hey, you already know what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the pit monster and should we be allowing it to be integrated with the American Bully. Today I'm going to be more of a referee, or at least I'm going to try to be. You guys already know where I stand on this topic. I don't feel that, not against the pit monsters or Dogo Argentinos or Mastiffs or anything like that, but I kind of feel like we don't need any of that stuff coming in. That's just me. But either way, D. Taylor is already getting into it. He's saying, I'm interested. The info I gathered is kind of foggy. The difference I see is the use of Old English Bulldog, it seems. They're saying that's what they use instead of English. That might increase health. All right. Well, hold on a second, guys. I forgot to set my mic up, so my apologies if you haven't been hearing me all that well. D. Taylor, I'm going to let you know this right now, and we're going to get into this, but I'm going to let you know right now. Maybe that one person went through Old English Bulldogs or not. I'm going to tell you right now, the pit monster, okay, American Bulldogs, recently Borbles, if not in the past, and everything else in between. You don't know what the hell is up in there. In fact, I know there are many pit monster proponents here in the States, right? So before you come out here yapping your mouth, I'm going to challenge you to embark your pit monster and let us see it. If you can't do that, if you can't embark your pit monster, I don't want to hear for sure it's coming from a particular line, okay? I can tell you this much. The pit monster, for some reason, has been relegated exclusively. Not only was it made there, but it has promulgated exclusively in Brazil. They tried expanding over to Europe, and it didn't fly. If you go to the rest of Latin America, you go to Colombia, Venezuela, Peru, Ecuador, Chile, you come up to Mexico, they don't want pit monsters. They want American bullies. Why? I don't know. I can't sit here and say it's because of this or that. I'm not 100% certain. But I can tell you, if Pit Monster was the American Bully, then why is it that even in this statement that we're reading here, they're being crossed with Old English Bulldog? Well, that's not what our breed started out with. You see what I'm saying? So there's already a definite difference. They've used American Bulldog. I can tell you this. I've interviewed Lucas Pit Kennel from, was it 3 or 4 years ago, and others. And American Bulldog is something that they've used and they've crossed in. Please, D. Taylor, don't believe this statement as being soul and pure. That's not the case, man. What's up, Teray Thompson? Number love, Freddie Strevia. What's up, Bully fam? The Life of Miklo. What up, Bully fam? From the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. There you go, Brayman. What up, Grand Champion Mayhem is at 15 weeks. By the way, Raul, you got it, man. Curtis, what's up? Fredia, looking forward to this live. All right. Well, we're gonna get into this because obviously, before the Pit Monster made it here to the States, and before it's being recognized by these other registries, we need to rewind and realize that they have their own registry in Brazil because no other registry would recognize them in their own country. Okay? Pits don't want to recognize pit monsters as pits. They're not. Right? They're way bigger. They're totally different breed. But truly, what are they? Love video, Shamir Jacobs. Number love, Queen's New Blood says it'll be interesting, but I'll ask on the kennel I've watched that has mostly all pit monster, expectedly the temperament. I don't really like the eye set of them though. Okay. American Bully should go into pit monsters, not the other way around. Honestly, I don't think I think these are two separate breeds. I don't think the Bully should be going in the pit monster, because if the Bully goes in the pit monster, they're going to turn it around and incorporate it into the American Bully, which is just the one thing I didn't want to see. I like the look and idea of pit monsters. Okay, I'll tell you this. I don't have anything personal against that breed. I don't even know enough of it. Okay. But the simple fact that it is another breed, a separate breed, a breed that comes from a registry in a foreign country that I don't know that we can put all of our eggs in and say, okay, yeah, for sure. If paper hanging goes on here, you don't even want to know what goes on down in Brazil. I mean, let's talk this over. Let's talk this over because, you know, if you look at Brazil and you look at U.S. as countries, we couldn't be any more different. Okay, our national pastime is baseball. Theirs is soccer. We speak English. They don't speak Spanish. They speak Portuguese. All right. They have concentrated in this pit monster for the last 10, 15 years, if so, and they've had their own registry. The way I see it, them being brought here and incorporated into the American Bully, that's a victory for their breed. They're getting recognition that they've never gotten outside of Brazil. Okay, it doesn't take a genius to figure out Brazil's the biggest country in South America. It's the most populous country in South America. Yet pit monsters are not the main dogs that people are seeking in the rest of South America. Why is this? These are things that we need to ask ourselves. We got Jay Sanch saying both look the same. What's the difference? The size? Jay Sanch, they don't look the same. Somebody just previously said that their eye sets are really brought in together. And I think that has more to do with the American Bulldog than anything else, really. But are they the same? Because they look the same. If you want to say they look the same, my question to you is, are they the same? You see, here, the American Bully, here in America, the American Bully was made to be companion breed. Be a dog that can watch TV with you, sit on the couch, also be able to go outside, run, do this, that. If what I am saying is possibly true, okay, that we don't know what has been incorporated into this breed, that American Bulldogs have been brought into this breed. This past December, I had Michael Higginson in Nationals. He interviewed someone that stated that they had just brought this pit monster from Brazil that was crossed with Borbal. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, you know, we may be dealing with working line blood that's now going to be crossed into the American Bully. In the not too far distant past, say about 2 to 2.5 years ago, or not even less than that, actually about 2 years ago, the UK, right, decided, well, this past year, they decided to ban the American Bully XL. So we're going to go and cross with this other breed when we know that when you cross two breeds that are different, okay, there's going to be the first thing that becomes volatile is going to be their temperament. Do we really want to go down that rabbit hole? That's what I'm saying, man. First American Bulldog says it's a band dog. Okay. Again, I have nothing against the pit monster, where it originated and how far it's come along. My issue is we haven't even stabilized the American Bully to then allow another breed to come in. I mean, it's really, let me see. The pit monster look is seemingly what the XL American Bully is supposed to look like, but they should remain separate. Well, I want to touch up on that real quick. Let me just let me do some here. Let me put something here. Okay, so let me say this, because somebody told me this precisely. He said, bro, I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like the pit monsters are actually looking bullier than the American Bully XL. And I'll be the first to say that I have seen some pit monsters that are thicker, wider, and have gotten further along than, say, the American Bully XL has. Here's where the problem again, and I'm going to circle right back around. What did you breed into that to make it do or make it look the way it looks? If you're telling me that American Bulldog is in there, American Bulldog is a cattle dog, is a working line dog. Okay? The American Bully is a companion breed. So here you are buying a dog from someone thinking you're going to have a companion breed type of temperament. And next thing you know, it's got working line traits. Do you understand how dangerous that can be? I don't think people even comprehend what I'm really saying. People keep addressing the look. Oh, they look very similar. They look the same. That could be fine, bro. They could look very similar. In fact, in some cases, they look even better. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that the American Bully XL breeders as a whole have failed to breed. Put me in there. Okay? As a whole, we failed to breed. Why is that? Because for the last 10 years, the American Bully XL has been crossed with nothing more than skinny, long-legged mastiffs or whatnot. And here comes this breed along, and they bred to American Bulldog, and they're getting meatier, beefier, more bully-like type of dogs. But that doesn't mean that what they have up here is going to be the same. That's all I'm going to say. To me, the fact that they're looking better than a lot of American Bully XLs, in my opinion, is the failure plus the greed of the American Bully XL breeders that we got out advanced by a similar breed in a third world country, which is incomprehensible to me. Van Ragnar, Nicaragua, devil's advocate. Same can be said for the American Bully. Wasn't recognized till ABKC was created, and then the lump sum of other registries. So why not let Brazil do the same? Listen, Von Ragnar, Brazil can do the pit monster. It can do the same. It could have its own registry. It could be recognized. Great. Why merge with us? Tell me, Van Ragnar, since you want to play devil's advocate, and I appreciate that you do, why is it, give me a good reason why the American Bully community should allow or accept the integration of the pit monster. Pit monster has his own history in a foreign country. Why don't you just keep doing your thing? Let us keep doing our thing over here. Let me know. Teray Thompson says, is it safe to say that pit monsters are Brazilian band dogs? Teray Thompson, I cannot confirm nor deny that statement. I'm not a pit monster guru. Okay. I have been immersed in the American Bully for the last 10 years. And even then, I don't know everything. So much less am I going to know anything about a breed that I didn't even consider being existing until it all of a sudden appears here in America, because that's what breeders here do. This, we're the most capitalistic country, but we're also, we're probably one of the countries where breeders are the greediest. And so if it didn't take a scientist for them to see certain pit monsters that look bullier, more boned up, more muscled up than American Bully XLs that we have here. I'm not going to deny that. I've seen some of them. They look good. Okay. But what's in between their ears? You got to realize, man, we've been talking about the American Bully being companion breed. These puppies are going to people's homes where there's kids and older people and whatnot. Okay. All of a sudden, somebody that's never owned a bully, you're going to send a mix with a pit monster that you don't know what's behind it, and you're going to throw it into their house. Good luck with that. The Life of Miklo, are we allowed to say the dog's name? I'm here for education and wonder how that dog makes bully shows in the U.S. now. It's up to you if you want to, man. Queen's New Blood says, if they do let them in, XL breeders need to tighten up their kennel and require embarking and temperament tests for any pit monster use, since people want to take the short and use another dog breed. First of all, let me say this. As much as the pit monster looks similar to the American Bully, they're not American Bullies. The position of the eye set is completely different. That should just tell you that from the get. Okay. And the eyes are nearest to the brain. This is one of the reasons why I am so not on board with this particular move. The other thing I'm going to tell you is that I can tell you this breeder right here, I will never breed, okay, to known pit monster lions. I'm not going to do that. To me, I don't know, man. To me, it's just ridiculous. We haven't even been able to stabilize what we currently have, and we're going to bring another lion in. It just makes absolutely no sense to me. I say let them be their own breed, and they could be under the ABKC, and they can go to nationals, and they can compete and all that. They don't have to be integrated to the American Bully for that. That's just my way of seeing things, guys. Fredia says American Bullies are bred mainly for their sweet temperament. We have to hold strong to that as responsible breeders. I agree. Queens, even if that breed has some of the American Bully blood, I don't want to get bigger if it means it changes their temperament. Marley, the Bully started off with working breeds, then was mellowed by selective breeding. Okay. So, Marley, are you okay then with 20 years in? We've only had a registry recognized 20 years ago, and we're 20 years in. Stud books are open, and you're okay with bringing pit monsters. Because the reality is, if we're okay with bringing pit monsters, then we should be okay with bringing bull mastiffs and borbal while we're at it. We might as well. Okay, what's good for the goose is definitely good for the gander, right? I'm just saying. Jav Sanch says, how can American breeders fix it? Jav, this is going to come down, in my opinion, this is going to come down to the buyer's critique and to an internal movement within the community. The registry ain't going to do crap because the registry's there to make registration money. They could care less. You could breed bullies to chihuahuas, man. If people are buying them, they're going to be happy because they're going to be making registration money every time you drop a litter, right? So I just think that the community as a whole should look down on this, right, ourselves, and hopefully it creates enough of a wave to where, look, man, I got nothing against the pit monster. It does look good, looks boned up, looks muscular. Make them their own breed, man. Make them their own breed. Don't integrate them. Don't integrate them. First thing that's going to become volatile is going to be temperament. Queen's New Blood says we have the dogs here in America, in the American Bully, that can create the American Bully, the American Standard Bully look. Even Excel, they're just not being used. This is my point. Queen's New Blood. We're going to get there. Okay. In the last 5 years, there has been a strong shift in the direction of more breed type. We don't need to go outside and bring breed type from the outside. That's just ridiculous. The American Bully was made here in America. Why are we bringing a Brazilian breed into our breed? That's their version of it, man. I applaud it. And they could, you know, have their own registry, run their own shows, all that good stuff. But why bring it into the American Bully? Well, what are they breeding? What are they breeding them for in Brazil? Duval Bully Boy Kennel. I'm going to tell you what they're breeding them for in Brazil. They're breeding them for money. They're not being bred for an exclusive, to be a working line dog, to not be a working line dog, to be this or to. No, they're not breeding for that, man. They're breeding for money. That's what they're breeding for. In the last 3 or 4 months, look, in December, like I said, I had a reporter in Nationals talk to a dude that brought a Brazilian pit monster that was crossed with a Borbal. I mean, these guys are going to cross with whatever, bro, just to be able to get that look that they're looking for. My whole thing is, would you be comfortable buying a pit monster Borbal / American Bully mixed pup because it's got papers and bringing them home to your kids? Let me know. Let me know in the comments. I like to hear it. Van Ragnar says, devil's advocate, folks that want an XL Bully type band dog that does work and are aware of the temperament difference. Van Ragnar, I'm going to tell you right now, 99% of this community, if you start asking a little bit into temperament, a little bit more into standard, they're lost. They're completely lost. Okay, this is a sheep movement type of community. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. Are you going to rely on this community that doesn't embark, okay, to know that there's a difference in temperament? Because one of the first things you would have to do in order to know what's which, because they do look similar, is you would have to embark. And then you can know what's in the dog to kind of be prepared to what type of temperament it may have. Because it's no longer American Bully bred to American Bully bred to American Bully, who is a companion breed. Now you just drop something else in the pot. Okay? And it may get saltier, it may get sweeter, but nobody knows really which way it's going to go. G-Line, the eyes are windows to the soul. There you go. Curtis M., it should be like Staffordshire Bull Terrier and American Staffordshire Terrier. There you go. Marley, merging the two will only cause more problems for each breed because the average person and even people in the dog profession can't tell bully breeds apart. Marley, I couldn't agree with you more. If I was a pit monster breeder or whatever, my approach wouldn't be to merge to the American Bully. My approach is pit monsters are better than American Bullies because X, Y, Z. They're not companion breed. They could be working line. They could do this. They could do that. Bullies can't. That would be my approach, right? But why merge it? Why merge it? You're going to affect both breeds. All right. Bullies weren't made to be a working line, and possibly pit monsters weren't meant to be companion breeds. I don't know. If you guys know more about pit monster, please go ahead and drop comments. Educate me. Von Ragnar says, I agree they should stay separate, but the market controls this. Wish it were different, but it ain't. Cream is true here, there, and everywhere. Van Ragnar, it is unfortunate, but I'll tell you this, Van Ragnar, the market is going to control the value of the pit monster. I agree with that. Just like it controls the value of the American Bully. I can tell you there's going to be breeders like myself that will not cross that line to pit monsters. It's not happening. Not going to happen. Not on my watch. You guys know I embark every single one of my dogs. If it doesn't say 100% American Bully on there, if I see Borble, if I see American Bulldog, or whatever, we're not doing that, man. It's not going to happen. Cerberus says, I met more aggressive XL American Bullies than I have met pit monsters. There's only about 10 pit monsters in the entire country, so you're talking effectively of less than 10 dogs. Well, Cerberus, check it out, man. You're absolutely right. If there's less than 10 dogs, I'm referring to less than 10 dogs. That still doesn't preclude that there are a separate breed from this breed, and they shouldn't be incorporated into it. Okay, that doesn't take anything away from the discussion. The other thing is, if you've only met, say, 1 or 2 pit monsters, I take it, then you can't compare it to the American Bully XL. You really can't, because obviously there's going to be more American Bully XLs running around than pit monsters. So who's to say you're around the one cool pit monster and you're around, 10 American Bully XLs that aren't so cool, right? So the numbers aren't there either on your end, is what I'm trying to say. Tiago del Manto, they have the same genetic pool. Really? Is there anybody out here that owns a pit monster that embarked? Can I see it? Can I see that? Let me see that. I can tell you, I interviewed Lucas Pitt. I'm not saying he's everything to do with this particular breed, but he is somebody that is involved and influenced in this breed, in this pit monster breed. And after we got off of the live, yeah, they mixed and matched with quite a few. Samba Kennels, how many pit monsters have you ever met? I have never, Samba, and to be honest with you, I'm not really interested. I'm concerned about the American Bully. I understand that you're for the pit monster, so that's your agenda and that's what you need to push, and that's fine. And like I said, I have nothing against that breed itself. I just don't want it mixed with the American Bully. So if pit monster, let me say it this way. If the pit monster is an exceptional breed, if the pit monster, I can tell you already, I've seen quite a few that are boned up and muscled up and they look very good. Okay. But if they're an exceptional breed temperamentally, then there shouldn't be any need to cross it with anything else. You should bring that breed it here, and let it stand on its own 2 feet. And it will grow and flourish for you and for every other pit monster breeder out there. All I'm saying is the American Bully's only been around for 20 years. It's not even 100% stable, especially in the American Bully XL class, for us to be bringing any other breed to mix it with. That's what I'm saying. Cerberus says the XL dog should have started with Bulldog, not APBT, just like the Pocket and Standard. Yeah, but that's not how it started. The dogs with the best temperament have a lot of Bulldog, Dax, Lilo, etc. Okay, I can respect that. Gleason Rodriguez. All right, man. Von Ragnar. Who's to say that them double XXLs ain't got English or Bull Mastiff in them? No, Van Ragnar, you're right. They have it in them. 25, 26, 27 inches. ain't coming from the supposed original breeds that created the bully. Am I lying? Again, I agree with you. No, Van Ragnar, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. The American Bully XL had been crossed with Mastiffs left and right. I'm not going to dispute nor deny that. I agree with you. When there's a dog walking around with 27 inches at withers, come on, man. No. That's not coming from the original lines. I agree with you. This is precisely why I am saying if the American Bully XL line is not even, we don't have it where we need it, where it's uniform, where and then we're going to bring another breed in. I mean, I don't know, man. I think that, why don't we let things settle a little bit? Why don't we try to make the American Bully XL more to breed standard? Why don't we work on that rather than bringing another breed? Again, I got nothing against pit monsters. I haven't met a pit monster in my life. They look good. They look boned up. They look muscular. That's great. But looks is not all there is to it, right? There's other things, right? So I would like to know, for those of you that, I guess advocate for the pit monster, what was the pit monster made for? What are its origins? What was it bred with? Talk to us. Duval Bully Boy says a lot of these American Bullies temperaments are still like pit bulls anyways. Some can be, man, and that's unfortunate. I will say further, there is no reason to bring another breed if you still have volatility within the breed you have now. Now, I don't mean just temperamental volatility. I'm talking about standard conformation volatility as well, because of all these Mastiffs and everything else you brought into the XL. That's what I'm saying. Marley says, then you have breeders who know nothing about genetics and will end up making dogs with the worst parts of each breed. Marley, you're making some exceptionally good points. So I can tell you, we've come a long way as far as embark testing. 5 years ago, less than 1% was embark testing easy. Today, we can say anywhere between 5 and 7% are kind of getting into it, right? Could you imagine pit monster or Borbal or bull mastiff or whatever, we cross to that and let it come in and integrate? I don't know, man. I don't know. This community is definitely not ready for that. Christian Irajeta, I think there will be a big confusion between the two. There already is. Against the Grain Bully says shortcuts are being taken by breeders of all classes. It can be incorporated responsibly. Just like everything else people added. Dax was taboo at one point. Now look at his influence. You may have a point. I'm not here to say who has or who doesn't. I'm just making my argument and my point of view. Willing to listen to yours and compart in a conversation. Sir Barra says, at least they aren't paper hung. Really? Sir Barris, how do you know they're not paper hung? Does the registry in Brazil require an embark test? I strongly doubt that, my friend. Nefi Diaz says, because you don't know the temperament of the dog. I don't know the temperament of the dog. But I can tell you their eye set, where the eyes are set, it's nothing like the XLs I've seen, which tells me they were crossed with something else to get to where they're at, which means when they're crossed back into whatever we got, it's going to create temperament volatility. All right, that's all I'm saying. Kusho says temperament mostly depends on who and how they raise them. All dogs are a mix of another mix. A Chihuahua is still came from a wolf. True. But Kusho, let me just say this, bud. If you were to grab, say, an American Bully, standard, classic American Bully, and you crossed it with a Cane Corso, a working line dog, okay, Cane Corso, you are not going to have let's say there's 10 puppies. You're not going to have 10 puppies all with that American Bully, happy-go-lucky temperament. That's not going to happen, my friend. And that's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. And what's going to make things even more confusing is, in my opinion, is that you guys are right. The pit monsters do look similar to the American Bully XL in many cases even better. Okay, so that's where also confusion can arise, is what I'm saying. Queen's New Blood said, I just seen several XL American Bullies that fit the standard of the breed. So we don't really need the shortcut pit monsters for their money-grabbing hands. I can tell you guys this. I've been seeing XLs trying to turn that corner, and get more breed type. I can see breeders here in America realizing the first that's able to produce a dog that's an XL to ABKC standard is pretty much going to break the bank for a good 2 to 4 years. And I think that's where this possibly the whole infusion of the pit monster comes in. I think people realize that that's how you're going to corner the market. And so, in this case, it's the pit monster. They realized, there's my shortcut. That's a possibility. Adam Fields, where are all my fam at in the comments? A membership is only $5, man. Tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. Juan Martinez, do you use anything for hip and joint? If so, what? Absolutely, man. I'm glad you brought it up. It's right here. It's Nuvet, which is a multivitamin, and NuJoint DS, right? This is joint support. Check it out, man. Look at all the stuff it brings. Glucosamine, chondroitin, MSM, vitamin C. And over here, not only do you have vitamins, A, E, C, you also have phosphorus, potassium, zinc, calcium, selenium. So you have minerals as well. Our ordering code is 513237. You get 13% off with auto ship, and your name gets automatically entered into our end of year raffle. All right, Against the Grain. And it's not a separate breed. American Bullies aren't purebred to begin with. And the American Bulldog was already added to the breed. They just added more and kept more of the Bulldog traits. Okay, well, Against the Grain, check it out, man. And I'm not the biggest purist in the world, but I've been, I don't know, for the last 5 or 6 years, hoping, asking, when are we going to close the stud books? Irregardless how we started, we're way past that point. I don't know where the pit monster is as far as how long they've been around, how long they've bred. I don't know their history. I really don't. Okay. But my point is, right now, we need to gel with what we currently have rather than bring in from the outside. Cerberus says, Merle is paper hung too. Could have been, man. In this community, there's a reason why registries are dragging their feet on DNA testing, right? I saw Dave Wilson about a year and a half ago talking about, we're going to incorporate DNA testing. Where is it, man? Because all I hear is crickets. All I hear is crickets. We need to incorporate DNA testing immediately, especially now with the risk of another breed wanting to come in, right? I'm just saying. Queen's New Blood says temperament is also a genetic thing as well, or the guardian breeds wouldn't be separate from the companion breed. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. Temperament is also genetic. So it's a component of two things. Obviously, the environment and genetics. So let me give you an example. Companion breed. I don't care how docile a dog is. If every Friday you beat it with a broomstick, right? Whenever he sees you grab that broomstick, he's going to become something different, right? This is something that is external to his genetic makeup. His genetic makeup is I'm cool, calm, and collected. But if you're going to beat me with a broomstick, then my survival instinct kicks in, right? And then at that point, he's going to growl, show teeth, maybe even bite you, right? The other way around it is obviously You got working lines and you have non-working lines for a reason. And after generations and generations, whatever quirk that the dog has as a working line, whether it's a sheep herding dog or a security dog or whatever, gets reinforced because you're line breeding, maybe even inbreeding that same blood over and over again in order to identify those traits that you want the most. When you grab that and you cross it to a dog that doesn't have those traits, now you're going to have some volatility where you may have some puppies that are somewhat security dogs, somewhat not. You may have some that are 100% security dogs, and then you may have some that are not security dogs whatsoever. My point is that breed looks so similar to the American Bully XL that by crossing it with the American Bully XL and possibly causing this temperamental volatility, people are not going to know the difference. That's what I'm getting at, man. Louis DeMille Graham, what is going on, man? Against the grain, the pit monster is the least of the breed worries. It excels with fluffy coats, some with no fur looking like hippos, and just irresponsible breeders' owners. Well, that's your opinion, my friend, not necessarily mine. I do agree that the fluffy coats and the skinless, to me, it's another way to corner a particular market. Let me put it that way, to not call it greed. But honestly, if we have fluffies, if we turn around and have furless, and then we turn around and we start bringing other breeds in, then what do we really have? What do we really have, man? So that's what I'm saying. Okay, Miss Samba Kennel says, I praise temperament and they have the best temperaments. Just for your information, they have their own standard and they're already more consistent in type than American Bullies. Again, that could be your opinion or not. I don't know. As far as you saying that they have best temperament, that's great. That's phenomenal that they have great temperaments. Okay, that's great. I would prefer that. I would prefer that over having a bad temperament dog come into our breed. Nonetheless, there's still another breed. In fact, the way that you're pointing out that they're even more consistent than American Bullies tells you you're further along than we are. So there really is no need to bring the American Bully in. I'm sorry, the pit monster into the American Bully. You guys are so much further along and you have this great temperament dog that looks good. By the way, I've seen quite a few pit monsters. They look phenomenal. Okay, so I'm not going to take anything away from that breed, but it's still a different breed, right? Hoke says, take me out on a date, Raul. I'm ABKC certified. He cracking me up, man. Samba, the official name now is Brazilian Bulls. They are a companion breed. Huh? Did they originally start as a companion breed? And what dogs do they have behind them? Okay, is American Bulldog in their background? I like to know. Queen's New Blood says, hi, Samba. Okay, cool. No Borbal, no Mastiffs in the pit monsters. Okay. How about American Bulldog? I like to know. Cerberus, paper hung, because there's no need to paper hang. The breed book is entirely open, so you know where everything is. There's no penalty to just write in the dog, so no need to paper hang. They do it anyways, my friend. They do it anyways. Unlike APBT in the UKC where they had to paper hang. That's true too. Marley, some of the breeds they claim makes up the pit monster is the American Bully, American Bulldog, and a few other breeds, and that they're supposed to be companion breed. Really? So, okay. Okay, so how long has the pit monster been around? If American Bulldog is something that they're using as a basis, then, you know, my question is, how long has the pit monster been around? I mean, I'm just saying. Freddie Strevia, temperament makes all the difference in this breed type. Keep in mind, some have been banned in other countries. That's what I'm saying, man. What's up, CDC? Catch Dog Concepts. There you go. Wow. I'm sorry. I don't want to kill it, man. Sean, you're a lime. I tried ordering NuJoint DS, but the website says it's sold out. If you're in Canada, it is. Lucas Pitt. Yeah, aquí Brasil. Yeah, Lucas, you remember? Tu y yo falamos. I spoke with you about 3 years ago. We were talking about this in particular. You're very wrong, brother. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, okay. I remember talking with you, and I remember what we spoke about. So maybe you just don't want to come through and say what we spoke about back then. I'm just saying. Since you're in Texas, too, you're welcome to visit my pit monster and see it for yourself, Raul. Thank you, Samba, for the invite. We would have to kind of find a middle point because just like you're busy with your pit monsters, I'm busy with my bullies. But I definitely appreciate the invite. And if we could find a middle point, I'll be more than happy to meet you there. All right. Neffy Diaz, what about the fluffy Frenchie? Is it real Frenchie, true French bulldog? I don't know about Frenchies. I'm not into them. I'm into American bullies. Marley, if that keeps going on, then the American bully is going to be the next doodle. Pretty much, man. That's where I'm at. If we're going to allow fluffy American bullies, we're going to allow furless American bullies, and we're going to allow crossing with any breed. It doesn't even have to be the pit monster. So let me not pick on the pit monster. If we're going to let us cross to mastiffs, for example, or even non-mastiffs, then what are we doing? Ben Ragnar says, excelente conversación, Raúl. Love the back and forth. Así vemos muchas opiniones y la gente se entra de muchas perspectivas. Love it, fam. I love the going back and forth. This way people can see the opinions and see the different perspectives, man. Hit the like button, guys. Make sure to hit the like button. Against the grain bullies, I agree with you. It's been time to close the books, but this entire thing is a money grab by the breeders and unfortunately the registries. I speak out of frustration with the breed. It's sad. Hey, against the grain, I'm with you, man. Again, guys, I have nothing against the pit monster. In fact, if it's true, as Samba is saying, and they are further ahead than American bullies are, then truly, they should stand as their own breed. In fact, if I was a pit monster breeder, I'd be pretty upset, and I wouldn't want to have the pit monster bred to the American bully. Why? Because if you're further ahead, and I've seen some more boned up and more muscular, and the temperament is like you say it is, why do you want to take a step back and infiltrate the American bully? That's what I'm saying if I was a pit monster breeder. Now, as an American bully breeder, I don't feel my breed is consistent enough, top down in every single class, to afford another breed coming in. Okay? So this is not even against the pit monster. This is against our own breed. We're just not there. We still got volatility. So Montana P says, I met some of Samba Kennel's dogs and was very impressed with structure and temperament. Good stuff, Montana. Marley, the ALKC doesn't say the year. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Queen says there are some videos of fluffy, big rope, velvet French bulldogs telling what exactly they did crossing to the breed to create the dog. Okay. Okay, Samba Ken. Okay, so she did agree. Okay, she says yes, American Bulldog only. Okay, so American Bulldog. So here's the thing, Lucas Pitt, you're over here talking nonsense. You must forget 3 years ago you told me that you're crossing to American Bulldog, and here's Samba saying American Bulldog too. So that's what I was saying. So there you go, man. XL Cashmere says both breeds can benefit from each other. Look, I'll say this much. I really think that Pit Monster is going to cross to American Bullies nonetheless, because I do agree that some Pit Monsters are more boned up and more muscled up and look bullier than bully themselves, right? So I understand that people are going to totally bypass whatever I have to say about temperament, volatility, or anything like that, because, hey, as long as a kid doesn't get bit, who cares until the kid gets bit? And then we care, right? That's how we work And I'm not saying that a kid necessarily has to be bit, nor am I hoping for that to happen. All I'm saying is it is a different breed altogether. She just said that the main, I guess the lines that are in the background are American Bulldog. This is a working line. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Montel Morgan, what does the garlic benefit to dogs, boss man? I'm going to start giving my dog some. Once it accrues in your dog's system, parasites like ticks and fleas are not going to want to be on them. Stud books in Brazil are still open. They accept American Bully, American Bulldogs, Oldies, and Extreme Made PBT. Thanks for educating me, Samba. I know nothing about pit monsters. It sounds to me like you guys over there with the pit monster are probably having the same issues we're having here, where we feel we should be closing the books, not necessarily keeping them open. That's just me. I'm asking you, how long has the pit monster been around? Because if it's being mixed with the American Bully, is that just recent? Because honestly, the American Bully XL, I just don't see where the American Bully XL is non-volatile enough to be able to be used. Looney Tune says, late, but here I go, and it's no to the pit monster for me. Okay. Cerberus, so the ABKC Grand Champion female can have Borble, and people accept that paper hanging or open registry is like normal, but bringing in a breed openly to improve temperament, hips, elbow is taboo. Cerberus, who told you that I would agree with such a thing? This is my point. These things are happening. We're not my breed, before I even talk about pit monster or any other breed, my breed is not steady enough. It's not consistent enough as we speak. So why would we want to incorporate anything else? We're not ready to incorporate to something else, much less bring anything else in. That's just me, man. The breed was formed 10 years ago. There you have it. The breed was formed 10 years ago. They're actually newer than we are, right? So these are two new breeds. I don't see where bringing them together is gonna make them stronger or make us stronger. Like Samba stated, they're ahead of us in some things. I don't know. Queen's New Blood says, I like them as well. I do want to get me one day, and my kennel's more established because they're very striking appearance and make me double take. And I love it about them. Okay, great, Queens. Let me know how it goes. Let me know how it goes for you. Absolutely. XL Cashmere Bullies. Bulldog are in American Bullies also. Some of the most breed type XLs, including Merle, are because of Bulldog. This is true. This is no secret. I mean, Dave Wilson has come out in an interview saying he started out with Pit and Staffordshire Terriers, and then eventually that, the Bulldog got brought in, and that he likes the look as long as it doesn't go too far. This I'm paraphrasing, but this is pretty much what he stated. That all depends how soon you start. That's one of the reasons why I recommend this right here. Maurice Humboldt, what's up, fam? I'm late. No worries, man. Example, Lilo and dogs with Lilo have the best temperaments of loving dogs I have encountered. Well, there you go. Listen. I have nothing against any other breed. I could care less what breed it is. Breeds, to me, it's almost like colors, right? Colors are made for people to like them. Some people like blue, others like red, others like green, whatever, right? I just think that my breed is not ready for this. That's all I'm saying. Michael Higgins said, what's up, my guy? You know how I feel about this. They're a different breed and should be shown as such and breed as such. It's a beautiful dog, but not an American Bully. I agree with you, Mike. In fact, tell you what, what if rather than, right, mix the pit monster with the American Bully at this time, rather than doing that, why doesn't a registry step up and say, look, I'm going to recognize you, Pit Monster, for yourself. Okay, so you're a different breed than the American Bully. And we're going to go forward 5 years. If in 5 years you prove that you're closer to breed standard and your temperament is consistent, then we can incorporate at that point, right? But at this point, not many people know about the Pit Monster. Not many people know everything that there is to know about the Pit Monster. Sulema Santiago, I agree with you, Raul. A lot of Pit Monsters have amazing look, but still another breed. Looks similar to American Bully, but at the same time have a lot of differences if you're objective. I agree. Like I said, the minute you see the eye set, even their structure, right? I can tell that the American Bully XL, to our demise, has a lot of Mastiff influence in comparison to this dog. I can see that. We know that the American Bulldog is a working line dog. Now, you know, I'm no one to question anybody else, but I really like to see their temperament, and not just in a petting, happy gojo. No. Let's go walk to the mall. Let's go somewhere where there's noises and there's people. Let's go to Home Depot, that sort of thing. And maybe they are better than the American Bully XL. Maybe they are. My point is the American Bully XL has not proven to be consistent enough to allow another breed to come into it right now. All right. This is a great conversation. To your point, the XLs are a young breed. And because it's not fully dialed in, there's no better time than now to infuse the Pit Monster. Earl Pisa, let me say this, man, because I like to say things for what they are. As much as I disagree with you, I think you made a good argument. I got to give it to you. That's a hell of an argument. If the American Bully XL hasn't gelled yet, because within all the classes, it's pretty much the newest class, right? Since we brought in Mastiffs and all these different things, then maybe now would be the time to bring in the Pit Monster. My thing is this: nothing has gelled whatsoever. Everything is new. Everything is up and down. And then on top of that, you're bringing another line. Now it's just another variable. There's less consistency. I would dare to say the American Bully will probably make that Pit Monster less consistent, and vice versa initially. It's just initial, because their background has different types of dogs. They don't have Mastiff, right? They just said here it's American Bulldog. So what's that blood going to do when it meets the Mastiff in the American Bully XL? Just saying. Michael Higginson says, I agree with you. What you're saying exactly. Show them like they show everything else. The French, the Shorty Bull, the English Bulldog, the American Bully, the Pit Monster. Give it its own class. That's what I say. Listen, I'm not against that breed. Give them their own. Let them show it off. Let them show it off in due time. If that dog has the substance it seems to have, then we can think about the merger. We can migrate, and even then, it gives the American Bully XL more time to gel. Adam Fields, off topic, but how would you go about interviewing a vet for semen analysis? I would want to know what type of machinery they have. Like, tell them, hey, walk me through the semen analysis. I want them to show me motility. Okay, motility. I want to make sure the tails are wiggling. I want them to be able to tell me the correct amounts or the amounts. I also want them to show me the packaging in which they're going to be shipping. And I also want to know when they're going to be open so I could ship, right? I also think stud books should be open for XL class specifically instead of the XL class. Well, that makes no sense. Stud books should be open for the XL class specifically instead of the XL class using standards and pockets for breed type. I disagree with you, Kashmir. That there right there, man, I totally disagree with you. And why do I totally disagree with you? I totally disagree with you because when you go to the ABKC, there is one standard for all of them, right? And I just don't see where the pit monster is going to bring us closer to the look that a pocket or a standard has. I don't see that, even though I do see more boned up pit monsters, more muscles, that sort of thing. Again, their base may be a little bit different than ours, even though they have a bully dog behind them. Still an American Bulldog, it's not necessarily the same. Let's see. Cerberus, most open registry, horses, dogs that bring an improvement breeds to help improve the block stock. Bully hips, elbows, and cardiac are abysmal. Many of the Brazilian bulls have OFA, good hips and elbow. You may have a good point. Again, I don't know. And if there's only 10 pit monsters here in the U.S., like really, like maybe that one breeder is ethical. Are we going to automatically say that they're all going to be ethical and they're all going to be doing OFAs? I'm just saying. I mean, you threw the whole numbers thing earlier. Marley says, in breeding history, when crossing breeds to make a new one, they always use old, well-established breeds with similar traits and temperaments to ensure success and stability. Okay, Marley. Pit monster's been around for 10 years. Are you saying that we should be able to use the pit monster? Just a question. Christopher Munoz, these breeders are just as bad as the slave master was. Oh, my goodness. Mambo Jenkins, where did the pit monster originate? Conspiracy theory time. Could it be a plot to incorporate a possible bad temperament with plans to band the bully together? I don't think so. I just think that breed happened to stick its head out in a moment in time where the American Bully XL has been failed by all breeders that have bred to the American Bully XL, because from its very origins, they brought in Mastiffs to cross with them in order to make them taller, make them bigger. And I think that was the kiss of death, in my opinion. Cerberus says, in European warm blood horses, certain breeds are allowed to be bred to improve the breed. This has led to success in the Olympics for many horses. Okay. Marley's talking about, for example, the Doberman. Okay, yeah. I think your argument goes out the window, Marley, because, again, the pit monster's been around for 10 years. So we're not looking for a well-established line to kind of help us be more consistent, even though they could very well be more consistent within 10 years. Cerberus says, I feel the pit monster similar. Use them to improve the breed. Hold on. Let me show you guys something, because I did run earlier. I went ahead and I ran a poll. And let's go to the poll. I want to show you guys where the majority of the people voted. Now, it's only 147 people. I really wish we had more, but I guess it wasn't a topic that really moved too many people. But nonetheless, let me go ahead and show you guys the results of the voting there. Basically, it was a total of 147 votes. And I put on there, should the pit monster be included or excluded by the American Bully breed? And 27% say included, pretty much 1 out of every 4. And excluded is pretty much 3 out of every 4. So the majority of the people that voted felt that maybe now's not the time to bring the pit monster in. Samba says, you have a great point, Raul, and the ABKC will be soon registering them as Brazilian bulls. We're working on this as we speak. Samba, I'll tell you this much. If that is the case, you have in me an advocate for your breed to be registered as its own breed under the ABKC 100%. 100%. Like I said, I have nothing personal against your breed. I just don't think my breed right now is stable enough to bring anything in, much less even go out. And I just think that right now the pit monster has to be its own thing, right? It has to be its own breed. The Rick, greetings from California. Rick in the building. What's going on, Rick? Number love. Marley says horses are not dogs. Dogs are predators and should not be taken lightly when it comes to genetics. Exclusively when you're bringing them home, right? When you're bringing them home. I'm just saying, and this is just in general terms. Queen's New Blood agreed, Marley, and already long established is used the most to stabilizing a younger or breed being created. Right, but I don't think the pit monster. Okay, Queens. I get that you're for them. Okay, I totally get it, but they've been around for 10 years. So you mean to tell me you're going to stabilize the American Bully by bringing in a breed that's been around for 10 years? You see, like, let's not be blinded either. Let's try and be a little bit objective. Okay, if you were to tell me, I don't know, is there a bully breed out there that's also a companion breed that looks similar to the American Bulldog? Let's say there was. Let's call it the Canadian Bulldog, right? Real passive bulldog. It doesn't have an aggressive bone on its body. If you really wanted to stabilize our line of the American Bully XL, and you said, hey, the Canadian Bulldog, is a companion breed and could actually get us more to where we're getting to. As much as I still don't think this breed is ready for that, I would say you have an argument in your hands. An argument that definitely brings me at least to a 55-45 table. Okay, because the American Bulldog has been around for over 100 years. So say the Canadian Bulldog was around similar amount of time, then I can agree to that. Okay, I'm just saying. I.E. Kush Kennel says, does anybody know who the parents of the first pit monster is? What two breeds of dogs, if it's only 10 years old, shouldn't that info be relevant? Kush Kennels, I couldn't agree with you more. Unfortunately, I don't have that information. That's not my breed of choice. If Samba Kennels would like to come in and respond to you, I would really appreciate it, because she would not only be educating you, she'd be educating me and probably the masses right now. Higginson saying, I talked to a guy from Brazil at Nationals. Yeah, I mentioned it. And he told me that back a decade or so ago, the Brazilians were waiting to create an American Bully-like dog. This is the version they created. Okay, fair enough. Marley, I'm arguing against it because they're a young breed. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Sulema Santiago, we're not trying to make a new breed. We want to make our own breed more consistent. We have a lot of amazing American Bullies. Why add another breed? There you go. That's the fine line. We, you, and who? Well, Rick, those of us that agree that the American Bully XL doesn't need to be crossed with anything other than other American Bully XLs. That's who the we, you, and who she's talking about. Queen's New Blood says that an American Bully is an already established breed with decent stock. Outside breeds are not needed to improve. Breeders just need to refine the look of the XL Bullies, which is in motion. Okay, so Queens, that's what I'm saying. You see, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is everything we need, right? Everything we need, right? To get there, to get right here, we already have. Okay, we already have. Now, have we established it? No, we haven't. We haven't. Okay, are the wheels in motion? I can already see that they are. Okay, and that's the reason why I'm saying we don't need an outside breed for this. Okay, so I agree with that point that you just made. I'm not for the pit monsters being used for the American Bully. I'm for them being their own breed. I agree. I agree with that. Pit monsters should be their own breed. I'm arguing against it being used since we're now just refining the look of the XL. All right, Queen. So me and you, we're talking the same language. So let me just be clear. I'm not hating on pit monsters. I'm not. Have you ever heard me hate on pit monsters before, or Chihuahuas, or German Shepherds, or Dobermans, or Rottweilers? No, they're separate breeds. they all have a different function. They all have a different crowd that follows them, that wants to incorporate them, so on and so forth. All I'm saying is they need to remain their own breed. That's all I'm saying. And the American Bully doesn't. We don't need another breed coming in. That's all I'm saying. So I guess me and you are agreeing. Maurice Humble says, how long are the pit monsters estimated to live since they're such a young breed? That's, again, man, that's not a question I can answer. In fact, let me go online and let me see what it says. I will say, though, you got to take what online says with a grain of salt. I don't always just go off the first thing you see online, guys. So again, I'm just going to go take it with a grain of salt. So pit monster, right? Origin, Brazil, scientific name. Okay. Obviously Canis lupus familiaris. Okay. They definitely have different, similar colorations than we got here. ALKC, I guess that's the ruling, I'm not sure. It says ALKC org Brazil. So yeah, this has to be their yeah, it is. It's got to be. It is America Latina Kennel Club. Okay. Latin American Kennel Club. Okay. So there's their dogs. And I'm just trying to see if they have anything here. Okay, historical. There you go. The pit monster is a breed of 21st century developed from the crossing between dogs of monstrous appearance related to or not to the Pitbull, American Bully, and indirectly dogs, molosters like the American Bulldog and the Old English Bulldog. Okay, so I'm just... And I'm not trying to go against you, Samba, but it seems that they also have Old English Bulldog, it says here. Also talking about molosters over here, obviously American Bully, Pitbull. But this right here is what kind of gets me, related to or not to the Pitbull. Okay. Its origin, mind you, its origin is obscure, mainly due to the divergence of nomenclatures and concepts of the races that make up its genetic base. Its initial genetic base was basically composed of lineages of heavy dogs that are currently part of at least 3 other distinct breeds, such as the Camelot and McKenna strains that are currently part of the breed American Working Red. Okay. The Chevy and Ella strains that are now part of the breed Working Pit Bulldog, and the Razor Edge bloodline, which is part of the American Bully, all combined with pit bulls and dogs without genealogy known. So dogs without genealogy known, but with initial registration. The result was robust, heavy dogs with broad chests, heavy skulls, and strong bones. The pit monster is related to the American Bully, especially the XL pattern and the extinct Extreme pattern. So it is also known as Extreme. Behavior and temperament. Confident, courageous, alert. He's very friendly and loving. They're extremely strong, occasionally shows some aggression in both sexes. So socialization and obedience training are important. It's better to channel high energy for some types of work and exercise. Again, guys, I always take whatever I see online with a grain of salt, but that is coming. It seems like it's coming from the registry, their main registry. XL Kashmir says Dax is one of the dogs. Ikush, also Red Lion, and Johnson Bulldog, I believe, but I don't know much about pit monsters. Could be wrong, but I see those in the back of their peds. Marley says, also adding another breed will cause kennel clubs and other breeds to give the American Bully funny looks and will never be taken seriously. Marley, I think that is the plan. I think that's the plan. Why would the ABKC want the AKC to take this breed seriously? If it did, pretty much the ABKC. There's no reason to show in the ABKC at that point. I'm just saying, Michael Higgins says, maybe some of the guests on here from Brazil can answer this for me. If Brazil has come up with this beautiful breed, why would they want to mix it with ours here in America and not keep it their own? That's what I was saying earlier. If I was a pit monster breeder and the temperament was so much more stable and they're more ahead than we are right now, why would you want to breed into us? I wouldn't want to. Had the foot been on the had the shoe been on the other foot. The Rick says exactly. If the monster's allowed, then I'm patenting for my bully cross with a Shar-Pei be allowed also. Okay, that's what I say. Will the ABKC allow my Chinese Shar-Pei be allowed with papers? The Rick, I'm 95% sure. With an initial registry, you could pretty much get anything in there. Michael said, I definitely think it should be weighed in just like any other breed and have a chance to be registered showable dog. That's what I think. Let him be around for a good 5 years. I'm just saying. Rick's saying he'll pay for it. Samba says it started with the extreme pits in Brazil, Thompson's line. Okay. Is there a particular area in Brazil where they started? Or is it just mainly in the bigger cities like Sao Paulo or Brasilia or anything like that? Just a question. Cerberus says, pretty sure that website isn't the official website of the Pit Monster Registry. You may be right. If it's not, then please tell me who it is or what's the name of the registry. I'll be more than happy to bring it up. Again, I'm just going off of here. They're the first ones on there that are coming up. And that's why I said, and I was very specific, take it with a grain of salt, because I don't always just take anything you read. And Phil says, my new boy is from Romania, but I can trace his pet back to Gray Line and Gaudy Line. The Rick, I'll pay for my mutt to be allowed into the ABKC also. As long as you pay, man. IBC is the mother registry. Thank you. Let me go ahead. Let me go to IBC then. Pit Monster space IBC. All right. And this way we're being fair to everybody. Wait. I went in, but it's in Portuguese. So let me go in the there you go, translated version. Okay. So tell you what, let's read what the IBC has to say about this dog. No, I'm sorry, guys. It's in Portuguese as well. I thought I could ibcdogs.org. Let me see if maybe going in through here, international research. Okay. Let's see. There it is, Pit Monster. Okay. But I think it's still important. Yeah, it's still in Portuguese. It's in Portuguese, guys. I'm sorry. You would have to go there, kind of copy it, and then paste it into your AI, and then have it AI translate it for you. Adam Fields says, wrinkle bullies. He's cracking up. Marley. Also, the eye set of some of the pit monsters are slightly similar to that of the extreme licking Rottweiler, and Rottweilers are Molosser type dogs. Okay. Queen says, kind of glad UKC took some of this by the horns, leading it to clean water with the club they got set up now. Queens, let me tell you something. You know, not just this, but many other things. It almost seems like, and I got to agree with you. I think the UKC is slowly becoming more credible than the American Bully, than the ABKC, in that they actually have a registry club. Right? And they updated their standards, and I don't know. I kind of feel like the ABKC better hurry up. Van Ragnar says, would you say that Pit Monster is the natural and extreme response to the XL, just as the exotics were a response to the pockets? Van Ragnar, look, I really can't talk about like the inspiration for the pit monster or any of that. Mainly because, um, first of all, I'm not from Brazil and I wasn't there wanting to create that breed. So I can't sit here and speak for them. I will say they have a very good looking breed, man. And if their temperament, if 5, 10 years go by and temperament is what they say it is, honestly, if I was breeding pit monsters, I would not want to breed bullies. I would not want to breed bullies at that point. I'm just saying, man. Adam Fields saying no habla, no fala. All right. Queen's New Blood says, yep. That's the one thing that made me say that's not American Bully. And I found Samba who's very honest with her answers. That's fair. That's fair that Samba is honest with her answers. I kind of feel like she has to be, because whether she likes it or not. And Samba, thank you for coming in tonight and responding on certain things. And I know that you're in a position where you're pretty much between a rock and a hard place because, people that are American Bully enthusiasts or even purist don't want to see the pit monster coming in. People like myself making a live and saying, look, I got nothing against the breed, but we're just not stable enough for it to come in or whatnot. You've been very gracious and you've answered a lot of questions. So, hey, thumbs up to you. I call it like I see it. All right. The Rick says ABKC has sold us out. It's kind of feeling that way, man. It really is. And I feel that now the UKC with the registry club behind it, I don't know. Time will tell. I Kush Kennels, has anybody embarked their pit monster? If so, what type of dogs come back? That'd be a great question for Samba. Samba, if you wanna respond to this question, and I'll tell you this, I'm very interested if you embark your dogs, and I would love to see what comes back. I really would. I would really like to see what's there. Kush Kennel says, does it say 100% pit monster? I don't know. Adam Fields is over here cracking up. Narciso, why are XL breeders so focused on banning pit monsters? Bro, I'm not focused on banning the pit monster. Has anybody heard me say I want to ban the pit monster? All I said is the American Bully XL is not stable enough for us to bring another breed in. Okay, that's what I said. And I said, I think the pit monster needs to be recognized as their own breed, and they need to do their own thing for a good 5 or 10 years. That's what I said. Never said ban them. I don't want to ban any breed, man. Just because, I don't agree with them being brought and mixed with the American Bully doesn't mean I want to see the detriment of that breed. It doesn't affect me in any way. The Rick, QBN Kennel, nah, not happening, man. I wish. But no, not happening. Samba says IBC papers are the only ones allowed by the ABKC. Okay, so this is how the ABKC is recognizing this breed, is through the IBC. Okay, Narciso, it's a separate breed. Yeah, Narciso, I think you kind of came in late in the conversation. We all agree they're a separate breed. And they should remain separate from us. And they should thrive, just like we should thrive, right? Again, this is not a shot at a breed. All I'm saying is we don't need to be mixing and matching right now. That's all I'm saying. Cerberus, Sykush, you can take a look at my pups embark. Okay, Cerberus, if you have pit monsters, by all means, let me drop the link. And I would love for you to come on here and show us, man. By all means, I just dropped the link. So if you want to jump in and show us, by all means, go for it. Adam Fields, at least I made Miklo laugh. He's over here cracking up. Miklo's his dog, by the way. Not you specifically. Okay. Narciso, maybe it isn't me specifically, but I kind of feel that the community as a whole, and I'm not just, listen, I'm not I'm not going to sit here and try to represent an entire community when the entire community has its own, voice. But we did a poll on my channel, as you can see here, and I asked, should the pit monster be included or excluded by the American Bully breed? And as you can see, 3 out of 4 people agreed that it shouldn't make part of the American Bully. 1 out of 4 said it should be included. So I don't think that by saying that it should be its own breed, do we want it to be destroyed or banned or not allowed? Not at all. All we're saying is we don't want it to mesh with what we got. That's all. That's all we're saying, man. Queen says XL breeders don't want to ban them, just stop allowing another established breeds being led into the American Bully, while the true lovers of the breeds are trying to refine the look of what they have. There you go. There you go. The Rick hit me up, says Adam Fields. Let's see here. Coda and Scrappy. I got 2 pockets, but the female has a Frenchie nose and face, and my male has a pit nose and face. What do you think would come out when I breed them? I'm not too sure. Wow. Wow. My thing is, wow. A pocket with a pit face. I haven't seen that in a very, very long time. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to come out. Claro que sí, Carbon. There you go. Samba says, IEQ, I embark all of my pit monsters. I have 8 of them. Well, look, Samba, I'll tell you what, and I tip my hat off to you. That's definitely something that the majority of the breeders in the American Bully community don't do. If you want to be ethical and you want to be credible and you want to be respected, you need to embark all of your dogs. I'm just saying. Samba, I am curious, however, does embark recognize the pit monster as a breed? So like they asked earlier, whenever I get my embark, it says 100% bully. Do you get that when you receive your results? Ike says, what does it come back as? Okay, so he's asking as well. Okay. Okay, she answered. Okay, so Samba says 50% American Bully, 25% APBT, 25% American Bulldogs average. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Samba says, anytime, Raul. Okay, thank you. Likewise, like I said, Samba, I'd love to meet your dog. If we could just find a middle point. I don't know exactly where you're at in Texas. I'm over here in Cleveland, just north of Houston. I'll be more than happy to show up with one of my bullies. You show up with one of your pit monsters, and we hey, you know what? We could make a video out of it. We could sit there and maybe drink some coffee, go to a little coffee shop or something, let people see the dogs. And, like I said, my intention is not to bring your breed down in any way. Sulema says, not banning is an American Bully or a pit monster or one or the other, not both together. Is that easy? Keep your lane. That's it. That's what I say. Samba says, I'll send you all of my embarks, Raul. Thank you, Samba. I appreciate it. I will not make anything public. I will pass it through you before I do, just out of respect to you. Okay. Narciso says, oh, okay, got you. Yeah, I came in late. Sorry. No worries, man. You're good. Stay in your lane, says Rick. All right, man. Coda and Scrappy. Yeah, it's hard to come by, but I will say the male has less health issues in terms of breathing and things. Oh, obviously, he's not brachiocephalic. So, yeah, I would agree with you with that. Make a video. Well, never mind. You already had the idea. So he's cracking up. Excellent. So listen, guys. Listen. First of all, I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. Some of you were very helpful. Samba, you were very helpful in giving us information on your breed. I look forward to talking with you. Hopefully, like I said, we can make a video. And, like I said, I'm not here to bring your breed down or bring mine down either, right? I'm here to exhibit mine and to try to improve it. And I'm pretty sure you're doing a lot of the same with yours. But either way, I really appreciate most people coming in, being respectful, dropping their comments. All breeds need to be researched for health, history, and a breed. Got it, man. Good stream. Well, you got it, guys. But hey, let me tell you guys, we do this every Monday. Now we're at 8 p.m. because the clock changed. And if I put it at 7, it's still sunlight. Some of you are still, you know, in the shower. You can't come in on the live, blah, blah. So we moved it till 8, and we're also doing it every Friday at 8. If you have any serious questions about pit monsters, I recommend you contact Samba Kennels. She has 8 of them, so she definitely knows a lot more about that breed than I ever will. And looking forward to a follow-up video. So Adam Fields wants a follow-up video. This was an amazing episode. Mad respect to both breeds. You got it. You got it, man. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Respect. You know, respect to everybody. So I thank you guys for joining us. It's been Raw from the Q, and I'll be catching you on Monday, 8 p.m.
Here we go. Cue the whistle. Oh, yeah. We are going for a whole hour. Straight dog talk and the song. Jump on in and speculate. Show up on time. Don't be weak and late. We are community, so don't hate. And learn to cooperate. Yeah, hit that like button and do your thing. 5 membership will get you in. So let's talk dogs and don't waste no time. Monday 7 p.m. CST. Don't come doing the HATE. Otherwise